Good morning, everyone, and welcome to MoneySense Mondays. This lesson is for young people between the ages of 5 and 8, and in the next 30 minutes, we will be exploring how saving energy can save money. My name is Lisa Lauffer, and I'm a community banker for the Royal Bank of Scotland, and I cover Inverclyde, Renfrewshire, and also North Ayrshire. You may not know this, but by changing the way we live our lives cannot save the planet, it can also save us money. We can all try to use less energy at home, reuse materials as well as we think about the way that we travel, and we need to do this differently. This is to help us cause less damage to the environment. Interestingly, a lot of these same choices can actually cost less money for us, which works out well for both people and the world that we live in.
Hello everyone, my name is Miss McPherson and I'm a primary teacher in Scotland. I can't believe that we're on our 7th week of MoneySense Mondays, but I'm delighted as always to be co-hosting these lessons and sharing lots of exciting activities with you all. During the session, you will need some pens and paper. Hopefully you have these already, but if not, quickly go and collect them now. While we're waiting to make sure that everyone's ready to get started, let's say hello to some of you at home who have joined us today. So I can see we've got Ridley, who's age 7, back with us. He's a familiar name from previous lessons, so it's lovely to have you back with us.
We've also got Aaron from Westfield Primary joined us today, Miss McPherson.
Super, hello to everyone at Westfield Primary as well. We've got Alice from East Calder too.
And we've got Darcy back again from Ralston Primary.
Super, we've got Ted and Bea are here too. Lovely to have you with us this morning.
We've also got Orla and Enya again. They've been watching a few weeks now.
Amazing. And we've got Irvin and Drew from Kirkland Liston.
And
amazing.
We've also got Harry, age 7, from Ralston Primary. So that's a few people on from Ralston Primary, Miss McPherson.
Yeah, great. Lots of people with us this morning. So to start off, I want you to have a think about the term environmentally friendly. What do you think this means? You may have seen or heard this before, but have a think about what it actually means. You can either write your thoughts down on paper or ask a grown-up to type them in the comments for you. While you're having a think about this at home and typing your comments and getting them into us, we're going to join our connected families. So let's say hello to Joseph and Liam first this morning.
It's something.
No. Say hello.
Hi.
Good morning. You're just dying to tell us, aren't you, Joseph? So why don't you just tell us what you think environmentally friendly means?
It's something that doesn't harm the environment.
Something that doesn't harm the environment. Super, that's a great way. Liam, do you agree with that? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, super. Thanks, boys. We'll come back to you soon. Let's join Charlie and Logan then as well. It's lovely to have them back with us. Good morning, boys.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. What do you think then? Environmentally friendly, what do you think that might mean?
Things that save the environment.
Things that save the environment. Good. Do you agree, Logan? Yeah. Yeah. Super. I think Logan would just rather write his ideas down. I think he's a bit tired. It's getting to that stage, isn't it? It's nearly the summer holidays, a Monday again. Yeah, he's not having it this morning. We'll come back to you soon, boys. Thank you. Let's have a wee look at the comments then. Lisa, has anyone said we've got Gavin, or whoever Gavin's with, saying environmentally friendly means looking after the planet? Super.
We've got Darcy, Miss McPherson, who is saying looking after the world and recycling.
Great. So the term environmentally friendly just means something that's not harmful to the environment. So like you all say, looking after the planet, this might be through recycling. Great work. So in the next few activities, we will be exploring how environmentally friendly choices can help us spend less money and save some of our pennies. But before that, let's hear from our fantastic community banker, Lisa, to tell us more about how saving energy links to money and how the banks actually help to look after the planet.
Thanks, Miss McPherson. So first of all, the banks help people to be environmentally friendly by when people want to borrow money from the bank to become more eco-friendly and buy solar panels for their house or an electric car, because both these things can be quite expensive. So the bank can help support these people. The Royal Bank also supports companies who are helping create energy which is more sustainable, such as wind power, windmills, and solar panels, and companies who want to change to become more eco-friendly by giving them money to do so. How many of you have seen either windmills or solar panels before? They're pretty cool to look at, aren't they? And also, we do lots of things such as use energy-saving light bulbs, also recycling bins to recycle as much as possible in the workplace. And we encourage people who work for the bank to travel to work by public transport or even walk or cycle. This way you're keeping yourself healthy also. And the Royal Bank also aims to reduce how much carbon dioxide they put out into the atmosphere in the next 5 years. So we do quite a lot at the Royal Bank.
Sounds great, Lisa, and I hope the people at home are really listening, because I know that some of that information is going to crop up in our quiz later. But just now, for our next activity, think about what's in your house, or even just look around the room where you're sitting just now. Can you make a list of all the things that use energy and therefore cost money to use? Remember, you can write your list on paper or ask a grown-up to leave it as a comment for us if you're watching live. Remember, if you're struggling for some ideas, then ask your grown-ups for help. They'll be able to come up with maybe some ideas that you're not sure of. And while we're waiting for your comments to come in, we're going to join Joseph and Liam to see if they can tell us anything in their house that they know of that uses energy.
Okay, it is a microwave.
Microwave, that's a good one. Yep, what does a microwave do?
Lights.
Lights, yep, that's another one.
Dishwasher.
Dishwasher, super. Any other ones?
Washing machine.
Washing machine, great. So that's you giving us 4. Thanks, boys. Let's have a look in the comments then to see if anyone at home's come up with anything different. So I can see Darcy has said a TV, a laptop, an iPad, and a cooker. So there's another 4 that was different. She also had microwave, like Joseph and Liam had said.
We've got Orla and Enya who have the same as some other people, but they also have a hairdryer.
Oh, that's a good one. Yep.
Definitely need those.
They're coming in really quickly, but I've just seen, Alexandra, Susan's posting on her behalf, said Hoover. So that's a different one as well. We've actually got Leah, who's age 7, saying that she uses energy too. But for you to use that energy, Leah, it doesn't cost you any money, does it? So that comes back to what Lisa was saying, where you might walk or cycle to work instead of taking your car, because that wouldn't cost you any money. You're using up energy because you're using your own energy, but it wouldn't actually cost you money. So that was a good one, thinking outside the box there.
And we've got one from Alexandra, Miss McPherson, who says Daddy's hair clippers, because all the hairdressers and barbers are closed at the moment. So I'm sure there's a lot of people using hair clippers at home that wouldn't normally be using them.
Yeah, definitely. So some great examples from everyone. And Lisa, we both had to think about this in advance, didn't we? So
Yeah.
as you can see on the screen just now, we came up with lights, phone, tablet chargers, game consoles, which I'm surprised not many people said, or I didn't see them saying it, maybe they did. Radios, speakers, we had computers, laptops, TVs. Someone said a hairdryer, like you said, Lisa. Hair straighteners as well. Sometimes we really need hair straighteners. Microwave, oven, heaters, and a washing machine. So lots of those were already covered by you at home. Great work, everyone. So what I want you to do now is look at the list that you have in front of you and decide which object you think is the most expensive to use and which one you think is the least expensive. So we'll maybe put our ones back on the screen, please, Jamie. Yep, so you can either use these ones, or you can use the ones that are on your list and try and come up with which ones you think are the most expensive and the least expensive for us. So you can let us know in the comments. And while we're waiting for that to happen, we're going to join Charlie and Logan this time to see if they can tell us what they think would be the most expensive and the least expensive. What do you think, boys?
The most expensive would be a car.
Okay, you think the most expensive would be a car. Have you got any reason?
The least expensive.
Do you have any reason why do you think it's the most expensive?
Because you have to pay for every month.
Yep, so you use petrol every time you get in your car and you travel somewhere and you have to fill that up when it runs out every month. Super. And your least expensive then? I'm just throwing extra questions in here. I'm putting you off. Sorry, Charlie.
And the least expensive would be a light bulb.
You think a light bulb would be the least expensive? Any reason why you think that would be the least expensive?
Energy saving.
Oh, great. So in your home, you might have energy saving bulbs, so they don't use as much energy and therefore don't cost as much. Yeah. Super. Thanks, boys. We'll see you soon. Let's have a wee look at the comments then. So Leah, who's 7, thinks that the most expensive is the oven and the least expensive, she agrees with Charlie. She thinks it's the lights.
We've also got Aaron, Miss McPherson, who thinks the television would be the most expensive.
Super. We've got Louise as well saying that the lights would be the least expensive. So lights seem to be a popular one for that.
Ted thinks that the washing machine would be the most expensive as the motor needs a lot of power to work. So that's from Ted.
Super. And we've got Orla and Enya saying that the most expensive would be the tumble dryer and the least expensive would be the lights. So Lisa, I wonder if you could help us out here.
Yeah.
Which one's the most expensive? Which one's the least expensive?
Miss McPherson, this is a trickier one because there is no correct answer. As items are used in the home for different lengths of time and some need more or less energy to work. So the rule is those with moving parts or which produce heat cost much more to run than those that produce light or sound. So that does match up with a lot of our answers who are saying the washing machine would be the most expensive and the light being the least expensive because the washing machine has parts that go round and round. So that's got moving parts, which will cost more. And the light is obviously, like Charlie had explained, you can get energy saving lights. So that would use less energy.
And the tumble dryer then, like Orla and Enya said, then that must be really expensive because obviously that moves and it produces heat as well. So that would probably be the most expensive, wouldn't it? So super well done, girls. So let's think about how we can make new choices so that we spend less money while being kind to the environment. Going to play a little matching game now. So all you need to do is match the pictures on the screen to the statement you think could work as a new way of saving money. So as you can see on the screen, there are 6 different pictures and 6 different statements. You could draw the pictures and write the statements on paper if you would like. However, if you're watching live, it's probably best to just match the numbers and the letters together, especially if you're getting a grown-up to post them in the comments. So, for example, the first picture shows someone leaving their devices switched on or on standby. And this would match to statement F as you should only leave a device on when you need them or make sure you turn them off when you're finished with them. So if you were posting that in the comments, you would just write 1F because the picture in number 1 matches with statement F. I hope that makes sense. It was a bit of a long-winded explanation there. But while we're waiting on the comments to come through, let's join Joseph and Liam and they could maybe try and do number 2 for us. So look at number 2's picture for me, boys, and see if you can match it up with a statement for me.
Okay, number 2. So what one does it go with?
I think D.
You think D, so number 2 is putting lots of things in the bin, and statement D says instead try reusing materials so that there is less waste. Super boys, I would agree with that too. Picture 2 matches up with statement D. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. So in the comments, we've got Leah agreeing with 2D, and we've also got B saying 2D as well. We've got Darcy saying that picture 3 matches up with statement B. So picture 3 is using a tumble dryer or a hair dryer. And statement B tells us to, instead of this, try letting things dry naturally in the air or by using a towel. So yep, I would agree with that.
We've also got Roa, Miss McPherson, who thinks that number 5 matches A, So going everywhere in the car. And A is instead try walking, cycling as a way of travelling around. So I would agree with Boa on that one too.
Super. We've got Alexandra. She's just posted 4E. So picture number 4 is someone's leaving all of the lights on all over the house. I know that my mum gets quite annoyed at me when I do this. So instead, maybe I could try and always turn them off as soon as I leave the room. So well done, Alexandra. I'll definitely try and take that on board.
And we've also got Tracy, Miss McPherson, who thinks 6 and C. So 6 is taking long baths, and C would be instead try taking short showers to use less hot water.
Super. So we've matched them all correctly. Well done. Thank you to everyone at home for posting your comments and helping us complete that activity.
Can we do an extra challenge again, Miss McPherson?
Oh, we do love an extra challenge. And do you know what, Lisa? They were so good at that, so I reckon they would love an extra challenge.
Okay, so can you look at your answers to the matching activity that we've just done? They're on the slide, and can you consider which change in behaviour is good for the environment and explain your answer? So we've got the answers. Now what I want you to do is think of the behaviour that is good for the environment and explain this in your answer. So again, you can write this down or get a family member to write it in our comments and we can read them out. And I think we might go to Charlie and Logan, Miss McPherson, to see if they've got any ideas.
Sounds good.
What do you think, Charlie?
Walking or cycling is better than always taking the car.
So you're making a physical difference in your behaviour by ensuring that you're keeping yourself healthy by doing the walking and cycling rather than getting in your car? Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a good one. That's a good behaviour to be thinking about as well.
Super.
Thanks, boys. So, Miss McPherson, is there any other comments coming through on the behaviours?
Leah said just caring or just thinking about it. So if you think about how much energy something's going to use and how much money it's going to cost before you do it, then you might change your behaviour that way. So you might not use it as much because you know how much energy it uses and how harmful it can be to the environment or how expensive it can be. So sometimes just thinking about it before you do it's a good idea too.
Yep.
We've also got Claudia saying that instead of wasting, you could recycle. So she's saying maybe like use your different coloured bins. So you're making sure you're recycling all the time. So that would be less harmful to the environment. It's Jamie and Joshua. Sorry, it's Claudia that's posting it on their behalf. So it's Jamie and Joshua that came up with that idea. Sorry about that.
So a few different behaviours coming in, but just remember that learning about choices we can make every day will hopefully help us save money and have a happier future with a healthier planet. So it's all about the choices that we have, Miss McPherson, and trying to ensure that our behaviour goes with the right choice.
Exactly. Thanks, Lisa. So we're now going to try a quick 4-question quiz to see what you've learnt today. As usual, you can write your answers down on paper at home or comment them below for us to see before we reveal the correct answers. Lisa, it's time to see who's really been listening today.
Okay.
So number 1, what is the meaning of environmentally friendly? So this was our very first activity. What does environmentally friendly mean? Let's see who can be first in the comments. And as usual, we'll probably have a little pause and then they'll all come rushing in. But let's see who can be first today, who can remember what environmentally friendly means. And do you know what, Lisa? I actually think that they all know at home. It just takes a wee while for them to get it typed in and send it to us.
Yes. So I think Darcy is straight in there to say anything that doesn't harm the planet.
Amazing. So it just means something that doesn't cause harm to the environment. And actually, I think Darcy saying the planet is a wee bit better because then she's not using that environment. Let's go to number 2 then. So how do banks help people to be environmentally friendly? So remember, Lisa told us all about how the Royal Bank help us to be environmentally friendly. So let's join Charlie and Logan to see if they can remember anything that the bank does to help.
Can you remember? No? You've forgotten? What about online statements?
Online statements.
Yep, that's a good one. And that isn't even one that I mentioned, Charlie, so well done. So yeah, the bank also offer the online statements to customers to save us having to print out statements and send them, so trying to save paper.
Great, thanks, Charlie. That was a brilliant one. We've got Leah saying the bank help people to buy electric cars by letting them borrow some money to do that. So that was a great one. We've also got B as well, saying that they help people to buy solar panels. So that's similar, yep.
Ridley's gone down the same avenue as Charlie and Logan by saying that we have online applications now, again, to reduce the paper that we're using.
Yep, I think we've covered most of them, but Lisa, do you want to just remind us exactly what the bank does?
Yeah, so people can borrow money from the bank to become more eco-friendly. So buying your solar panels or your electric cars was the main ones that I was talking about earlier, Miss McPherson.
Super, thanks. Number 3 then, in general, what objects in the home cost a lot of money to run? So remember, we came up with lots and lots of objects or items that we have in our home that use energy, but which objects cost lots of money to run? So what was the most expensive? I wonder if anyone can remember at home. Let's see who can be first. Got lots of people still answering question 2 as well. So that's great because they're getting the right answers. Oh, we've got Leah straight in there. Things that move. And we've got Darcy as well saying anything that produces heat. So things that give off heat or have moving parts, like a hairdryer or a tumble dryer, for example, are the most expensive to run. Super well done. And last one, number 4, what could we do to save money in our home? So what could we do? What behaviours could we adopt that would be better to save money in our home? So let's join Joseph and Liam to see if they can tell us any.
Switching the lights off.
Yep, that's a great one. That's one that I need to learn. Switch the lights off when you're not in that room. Only have them on when you need them on. Great. Any other ones that you can think of?
Hanging the washing out.
Yep, that's a great one, isn't it? Because if the tumble dryer is the most expensive thing to run in your house, then if you hang the washing outside for it to dry, then that means that you're saving lots of money, aren't you? Great work, boys. Thank you.
Dryer.
Let's have a look. Leave your hair to dry naturally. We've got Alexandra, whose mummy's always telling her to turn the lights off too, so she's with me. Maybe we could work together, Alexandra, and we'll try this week really hard to make sure that we're turning lights off and saving energy and money for our mums.
So Ridley said only use when you need them. So I think part of that might come under only have them switched on when you need to use them as well, Miss McPherson.
Yep, great. So we can turn the lights off, take the TV off standby, only use our ovens and kettles when we need them, let our clothes dry outside, or towel dry our hair or let it dry naturally. Great work, everyone. Let's end our session then with some quick quiz questions. So this is some time in the session for us to answer some of your great questions about money. We're so lucky to have Lisa with us. So if you have any questions for her, please post them in the comments. And while we're waiting for your questions to come through, let's join Joseph and Liam again to see if they would like to ask Lisa the first question.
What question would you like to use?
Lisa, can you borrow money from the bank to get an electric car?
That's a good question. So, yeah, we would look at everyone's situation, Joseph, and just ensure that they can afford to borrow the money for the electric car. But it is something that the bank can do loans for, to ensure that obviously you're helping the environment. But we would look at your finances to make sure that you can finance it okay. And if everything was okay, we would be able to lend you that money and then you'd be able to go out and buy that car. Well done.
Super. Thanks, boys.
Thank you.
We've got Ted wanting to know how money gets made. So that's not really related to this, but
Okay, so with that one, Ted, we've got two obviously kinds of money. We've got the notes and we've got the coins. So the notes are printed on our plastic paper, but that's all done from the Bank of England, who generate all our notes, and our coins are all done by the melted metals, all different kinds, and they're printed with the Royal Mint so that they go into our denominations that we have.
super, thanks. We've got Alexandra, who's asked quite a very personal question, but we'll ask it anyway. Do you use hair straighteners, Lisa?
I don't. No,
No?
it's not, I don't always dry my hair either. Sometimes I do just let my hair dry.
So Lisa's great at looking after the environment and saving money in her house. I wish I could do that, but if I didn't dry my hair, it would be a big frizzy mess. So I actually do have to use hair straighteners. Let's see, we've got Joshua asking, what's the best way to remember to turn the lights off?
For that one, Joshua, what I say to my kids is, can you see with the lights off? And they'll say, yes, mummy. I say, well, don't turn the light on. And then that way you don't have to remember to turn the light off. So if you walk into a room, before you touch that light switch, think, can you see in the room? And if you can see perfectly fine, then don't turn the light on, Joshua. And then that way you're helping the environment.
Great, thanks, Lisa. We've got Darcy asking, does the bank recycle old money notes?
So yes, Darcy, but we don't recycle them in the same sense as we would recycle our paper. We would recycle the notes by giving them back out to another customer. So all the notes that we have in the branch, they're not all new. Some of them have been used before, but we would give them back out to other customers, and that's how we recycle the notes.
So this is a wee bit similar. I don't know if you have a different answer for this, Lisa, but Leah is asking, how does RBS recycle? So is there anything else that they do apart from recycling the notes?
Yeah, so especially in branches, we have separate bins, kind of like you do at home for all your different things. We'll have our bins for our plastics, we'll have bins for our paper, and then we'll have our general waste, and we'll have our food waste. So the bank's very much an eco-friendly place, and we always get told, make sure you put your things in the right bin so that it can be recycled properly to help the environment. So we do quite a lot of recycling in different ways.
Super, thanks. I wonder if Charlie and Logan would like to quickly ask the last question for Lisa today.
Ready? Why does it cost money to use energy? You ask it. Oh, he's pretending to be shy. You ask it.
Why does it cost money to use energy?
So that's a really good question. So the reason that it costs money is because we have to get that energy from somewhere. So a lot of the time we're getting the energy from another supplier. For example, your electricity. So we have to pay that company to use their electricity, which is the energy we use to function our items, such as your televisions and your washing machines.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So thank you all for some really interesting questions, and thank you to Lisa for answering them for us too. If we didn't manage to answer your question, then try and post it again next week and we'll do our very best to answer it then.
Thanks, Miss McPherson. I'm just going to finish up on my little top tip for you. So, you know, sometimes when you were talking about standby,
Yeah.
so that means if the little red dot is on your piece of electrical equipment, so a lot of the times the television's a good one, so you can see that little red dot, that means that your television's on standby. Now, that just means you're putting it to sleep. You're not actually turning it off, so it's still using energy while that red light's shining. So if an appliance in your home is on standby, why don't you remind your grown-up that they should switch it off at the plug to save some energy?
Great tip, Lisa. I'll need to make sure that I don't leave any of my electrical equipment on standby.
Yes, I think I need to remind myself sometimes too, Miss McPherson. But to increase your understanding about money, why not visit our My MoneySense website and have a look at the interactive activities and games for the section of students aged 5 to 8. Also, if you'd like to watch any of our previous lessons, this is our 7th one, I can't believe it, then you can find all of our recordings on the Royal Bank of Scotland Facebook page and also on our Royal Bank of Scotland YouTube channel. Now, happy viewing.
Sounds like lots of fun. Thank you all for joining us and for all of your hard work during today's session. We hope you enjoyed participating and we look forward to seeing you next MoneySense Monday when we'll be learning all about spending and how small costs can have a big impact. In the next session, we're going to continue learning about how saving energy can help us to save money for children aged 8 to 12. Have a great week, take care and stay safe.
Bye. Good afternoon and welcome to MoneySense Mondays. This session today is for young people between the ages of 8 and 12, and we will be exploring energy saving and money saving. My name is Lisa Lauffer and I'm the Community Banker for the Royal Bank of Scotland. I cover Renfrewshire, Inverclyde and also North Ayrshire. There are many benefits to being environmentally friendly, which is when people try not to harm the environment. However, one that you might not be aware of is that greener lifestyle can actually save you money. More and more people want to learn about ways to maintain a healthier planet for the future. Therefore, in today's session, we'll highlight some of the things that you could try and take care of to save the planet and save some of your pennies.
Hello everyone, my name is Miss McPherson and I'm a primary teacher in Scotland. I can't believe that we are on our 7th week of MoneySense Mondays, but I'm delighted, as always, to be co-hosting these live lessons and sharing lots of exciting activities with you all. During the session, you'll need some pens, paper and a calculator if you have one. Hopefully you have these already, but if not, quickly go and collect them now for us. While we're waiting to make sure that everyone's ready to get started, let's say hello to some of you at home who have already joined us this afternoon. So I can see we've got Maisie, aged 8. Lovely to have you with us.
We've got Sienna joining us again from the Orkney Islands. So Sienna's joined a few weeks in a row now. Welcome, Sienna.
We've got Katie, who's 10 as well. Hello to you.
And Roberto, who's age 11.
Hello to Orla, who's 10, and Enya, who's 7. So I think they were in with us for the first session for Enya, but they've joined again for the second session with Orla. So they might have some ideas already about what we're going to cover.
And we've also got Charlie, age 10, joined us today, Miss McPherson.
Super, and I've just seen that we've got Ava, who's age 9, just joining us as well. So lots of people with us this afternoon. So to start off, have a think about why some people want to be environmentally friendly. You can either write your thoughts down on paper or type them in the comments for us. And while we're waiting for you at home to do that, so just why you think people might want to be environmentally friendly, we're going to say hello to our families that we have connected this afternoon. So let's say hello to Sienna and Neve first.
Hi.
Hi girls, so this is your first session with us. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. What do you think? Why do you think people might want to be environmentally friendly?
To stop climate change and pollution.
Yep, so that's a good one. So to stop climate change and pollution. Super. Any other ones that you can think of? That was a great one. So if you've not got any other ones, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll pop back to you soon.
We just said that. Yeah.
Super, we'll come back to you soon, all right? Thank you. And let's say hello to our other family, also a new family joining us today. We've got Leah. Oh, don't know if they're having some issues, but we'll have a wee look at the comments and then we can come back to Leah if we can. So I can see that Katie has said that people might want to be environmentally friendly to help animals and the planet.
Yep, we've got, oh, I think that's Leah back.
Sorted.
Hi,
Hi,
goodbye.
Leah. How are you?
Hi. Good.
Good. Are you excited to be with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are really glad to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. What do you think? Have you got any ideas?
To be kind to the environment and save the animals.
Yeah, so you're kind of agreeing with Katie then. So you think that people would want to be environmentally friendly to look after all of the animals that we have on the planet. Super. Thank you. We'll come back to you soon, all right? We've got Charlie, who's aged 10, is saying that people would want to be environmentally friendly to help the planet and stop climate change. So that was similar to Sienna and Neve. I'm trying to scroll up to see.
Quite a lot of people are mentioning animals and the planet for why they think people might be environmentally friendly, Miss McPherson. So they're either wanting to save the planet or protect the animals. So
And these are all great ideas, aren't they, Lisa? So there are lots and lots of possible reasons, such as to protect wildlife. So that's like what most of people have said. To prevent further global warming. So that's kind of linked to your climate change, like the girls said, and some people at home said too. To make the planet healthier. So that's just looking after the planet that we live on. So future generations can live somewhere beautiful. So we're thinking ahead to not only us living somewhere that we're happy with, but people who are not even born yet, so that they can live somewhere that's healthy and a beautiful place to live. It's just the right thing to do, isn't it? And it makes you feel good, and it can also save you money. So I wonder if the people at home can draw a symbol or logo that we could pin up in our windows to show neighbours or people who are passing by that you support being environmentally friendly. If you're watching live, this could just be a quick sketch that you could finish colouring in afterwards. So I know you can't share your pictures with us in the comments, but I actually had a wee think about it. So I'm going to share mine in a little moment. And I know that our connected families, Sienna, Neve, and Leah, have already got a little heads up in this activity, and they've got one to share with us too. So while you're doing that at home, you can just start sketching just now. I'll babble on for a bit about mine, and then we'll flip to the girls and they can show us theirs as well. So this is mine here. Don't know if it's easy to see. So it says, there is no planet B. So I've kind of changed there is no plan B to there is no planet B. And then I've got the earth in the middle, a kind of cartoon earth. And round about, I put little things that we could maybe do to try and save the planet. So I've got down here, turn off the lights. Up here, I've got footsteps and a bike. So that was my idea of, instead of going in your car, you could maybe walk to places that are nearer to you, or even cycle. And I've got the little recycling sign up here as well. So that was my ideas. That was my kind of slogan. I'm going to pop it up in my window once we're finished. But I wonder if we could join Sienna and Neve first and see if they can show us their drawing. Super, this looks great, girls. So they went for the kind of earth as well, a little cartoon earth in the middle. Do you want to explain it instead of me?
We have our rainbow, and we also have like the earth, and we have like a car, and we have a thing saying walk, taking the car pollutes the air.
Super, so you were thinking along the same lines as I was. Maybe you could get places in a different way. So instead of taking the car, you could walk or you could cycle or something like that. So that's a great one. Does the rainbow have any significance, or did you just want to make it nice and colourful?
The coronavirus and the NHS key workers.
Super, that's great. That's what I thought as well, but I just wanted to make sure. Great, girls, thank you. That's a fabulous one.
Well done.
Let's join Leah then to see her picture.
I've got light bulb.
Light
A
bulb.
light bulb, super. What did you draw a light bulb for?
Energy.
To save energy, yep, so saving energy through our light bulbs would help us to save money. Great, Leah, thank you. And I'm sure all of you at home have some fabulous drawings on the go as well. So if you've not finished it yet, maybe you could just put it aside just now so that we can move on to our next activities and you could finish it afterwards. So let's hear more from our fantastic community banker, Lisa, to tell us about how energy links to money and how the banks actually help to look after the planet now too.
Thanks, Miss McPherson. So, how banks can help people be more environmentally friendly. So, what can the banks do? People can borrow money from the bank to become more eco-friendly. For example, you can take out a personal loan to buy solar panels for your house or even buy an electric car. And the bank supports companies who are helping to create energy which is more sustainable, such as wind power, which is your windmills, and solar power, which is your solar panels. The banks also do a lot themselves to look after the planet. So the bank does various things ranging from using energy-saving light bulbs and having lots of recycling bins to encourage staff to travel to work by public transport or even walk or cycle rather than taking the car. The Royal Bank also aims to reduce how much carbon dioxide they emit into the atmosphere and is trying to become more carbon positive by 2025. That means that they will produce more energy than their buildings need, and they'll give it back into the supply of energy out of the others to use. They'll do this by using wind and solar energy. It's pretty cool when you think about it. You can research carbon neutral and carbon positive to find out even more about what these terms mean and how lots of companies are doing this.
Sounds really great, Lisa. Using electrical equipment uses energy and costs money, particularly appliances that use movement and or heat. So one easy change that every household can make is to turn off all electrical equipment once it's being used. Some electrical equipment, however, can be on standby, which is like putting an appliance to sleep without fully turning it off, which means it's still using energy and still costing you money. Sometimes you can tell if something's on standby as there's a small light showing. However, this is not always the case. If you can, try and name some appliances that you can think of that use energy on standby mode in the comments. If you can't, just write your ideas down on paper at home. So while we're waiting on your comments to come through, let's join Sienna and Neve. Any ideas, girls?
The TV.
Yeah, that's the one I was actually thinking of, the TV. So sometimes you see like a little red light in the corner of the TV. I was just looking at mine there and it's actually on standby. Oops, I'll need to get that off. So the TV is a great one. Any other ideas?
The microwave.
Microwave, yep. So if the light's on, obviously you can see the time on it. So obviously that would have to use energy. That's a great one. Thanks, girls.
Okay,
Let's have a wee look at the comments then, Lisa.
We've got Katie who says your phone.
Yep.
So
we've also got Orla and Enya agreeing with the TV, but they've also added in games consoles as well, which is a great one.
And you've got Tom who's saying about the lights.
Yep. Lots of people saying TV. I think that's the most obvious one. Some ones that I had thought about that haven't been mentioned yet are your kind of laptops, computers, phone chargers. So even if you're not charging your phone, but you've still got it plugged in, then it's still using energy. So that's kind of on standby because it's not actually doing anything, but it is still using energy. And the only other one I had that's not been mentioned yet is the oven and the dishwasher.
Yeah, a few are coming through now, Miss McPherson, when we started reading them. So that's good that some people started thinking about things. But can I do an extra challenge at this stage?
Oh, why not? We love an extra challenge.
So I need everyone at home to get their calculators ready if you have one. So the Energy Saving Trust found out that in the UK, around 12% of total household bills are from equipment on standby. So where the average yearly electricity bill in the UK is £530. So let's try and work out the average cost of equipment on standby each year. So what I need you to do is calculate 12% of £530. Do you think you can do it?
I think we can do it.
Miss McPherson. Should we join one of our connected families?
Yeah, let's join Leah and see if she's got any ideas, even how we would do it, even if she doesn't know what the answer is.
Okay, so Leah, what we're looking to do is find out 12% of 530. You can use a calculator if you need to.
Did this earlier.
Huh?
So read out
530.
and then divide it.
Divide by 100 times by 12 equals 63.60.
Well done, yep, so £63.60. So that's how much you can save by turning off all your equipment off standby, Leah. That's quite a lot of money, isn't it? Yeah? So remember, if your appliance at home is on standby, you can remind your grown-up to switch it off and save money, and let them know that on average, you can save £63.60 a year on your bills. What do you think about that, Miss McPherson?
That's amazing. £63.60 is a lot of money. And we had Orla at home. I think she was first to get the £63.60, but Katie also got it as well. And then I think some people were trying to work it out without using a calculator. So they had kind of rounded it to the nearest pound. So we had Sarah, Karen, Kathleen and Lucas all got £63 at home as well. So that was great work from everyone. Other than turning off equipment at the plug socket, let's think about what other new things people can do to save money while saving the planet. So on screen just now, you should be able to see 6 different statements. After you've read each one, I want you to try and suggest an alternative activity that person could do to try and save energy. So read the statement and then think, actually, that's not very good for the planet, or that's not going to save any money, and then think what you could do instead. You can either write your answers down on paper or leave them for a comment. Leave them as a comment for us below. Let's join Sienna and Neve first to see if they could maybe read number 1 and tell us what you could do instead.
So placing all waste in the one bin, you could separate rubbish into different bins.
Yeah, that's a great one. So we all have different bins for different materials and things, don't we? So if we put all the different rubbish in the correct bin, so through recycling, then that would help save the planet, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks, girls. Let's join Leah then, and we'll see if she can tell us something different to number 2.
So, number 2. So, just read the answer.
Dry it with a towel.
Yeah.
Or
Leave to dry naturally.
leave to dry naturally.
Yeah, so number 2 was saying that this person was using the hairdryer all the time when they came out the shower and they had wet hair, or they were always putting their wet clothes from the washing machine into the tumble dryer. So you're saying instead of that, it would be a good idea to just sometimes let your hair dry naturally or dry it with a towel, or you could hang your washing up outside and let it dry naturally in the air. Great, Leah, thank you. So we've got 3, 4, 5 and 6 that we're looking for the people at home to try and give us the answers to. So lots of people come in with question 1 and 2 just now, so I don't think it will be long until we start looking at the rest of them, but they're just agreeing with what the girls had said. Put your rubbish into different bins, Sienna was saying for number 1. And for number 2, she said let your hair dry naturally as well. So number 3, we've got putting lights on in every room of the house. What could you do instead to try and save the planet and save money? I wonder who'll be first to come up with another one. Oh, they're all coming in now. So we've got Edward has jumped straight to number 6. So number 6 was putting the heating on when it's cold. And he said instead of that, we could put on more layers. Or as his mum says, he could wear more wool. So if you wear heavier clothing, then you won't be as cold, will you? So that's a great one for number 6. Thanks, Edward.
And we've got Katie, Miss McPherson, for number 3. So number 3 is putting lights on in every room in the house. And Katie said, only put the light on if you're in that room.
Yep, that's a great one. So instead of having lights on in every room, obviously you can only be in one room at any one time. So make sure that you only have lights on in a room that someone's in. And like Lisa was saying earlier, if you can already see in that room, then there's no need for the light to be on at all, is there? Great. So we've still got number 4 and number 5 to try and get. Is that right, Lisa? I think we've got Sienna, who's saying for number 4, which is using a car to travel to school. She's saying you could walk or ride your bike to school. And even if you do live a wee bit further away from your school, you could maybe drive part of the way and then walk the rest of the way. So that's always an option too. Great. So let's see who can get number 5, and then that'll have all of the statements looked at. So number 5 is having a hot bath every night. And we've got Edward saying that you could have a shower every other night instead. So, yeah, obviously it's nice to have a bath sometimes, but a shower's quicker, isn't it? And it will use less hot water. So therefore it will save some water, which will save some money. Great work, everyone. I think that has got some answer to everyone. So now, from all of the answers that you've shared, can you identify which alternative behaviour you think would be best for the environment and why? So out of all of the 6 that we've spoken about, which one do you think would be best for the environment? You can discuss your choices with a family member and let us know what you decide in the comments below. So let's join Leah just now and see if she can tell us what one she thinks would be best for the environment.
Wear an extra layer.
For you. I'll turn the heating on low.
Or turn the heating on low.
So number 6.
Which is number 6.
So you think using blankets or just not putting heating up as high or wearing warmer clothes in the house would be the best for the environment? Super, thanks, Leah. Let's join Sienna and Neve to see what they think.
We think turning all the lights off in the house because it can save a lot of money.
Yep, so you think turning the lights off. That's a great one, thanks. Let's have just a quick look in the comments. Got Ava saying having a shower instead of a bath, she thinks is the best one. We've got Maisie as well saying walking to school, she thinks would be best. Lisa, what do you think?
I'm going to go with the hairdryer, so letting things dry naturally. I think it's a good idea. And I actually prefer hanging my washing up outside rather than a tumble dryer anyway. I like the smell of fresh air on my clothes when they've come in from the washing line outside.
I love that as well. A fresh bedding's my favourite. When you change your bed after the sheets have been outside, that's my favourite part.
But again, Miss McPherson, learning about choices that we can make every day will hopefully help us save money and have a happier future and a healthier planet. So putting all these things together and making the right choice should hopefully help us in the future.
Super, thanks. So let's try our quick 4-question quiz to see what you've learnt today. So as always, you can either write your answers down on paper or comment them below for us to see before we reveal the correct answers. So Lisa, it's time to see who's really been listening. Number 1, why might people want to be environmentally friendly? And let's go to Sienna and Neve to help us with this one. Why might people want to be environmentally friendly?
To stop climate change and pollution.
Yep, great. Thanks, girls. To help the planet, to stop climate change, to save money, and because it feels right, were just some of the ideas that we've spoken about already. Number 2, what does it mean when a piece of equipment is on standby? Wonder if anyone can think back. What does it mean when a piece of equipment is on standby? Let's see who's going to be first in the comments today.
So this was Miss McPherson that told you all about how something goes on to standby, and it's when it's maybe as if it's asleep, that bit of equipment's asleep. Still getting answers through to question 1 here, Miss McPherson. So Katie has said it's on, but it's not being used.
Exactly. It's not really turned off. The appliance is still using energy and costing money. So usually it's indicated by a small light, but this is not always the case. Great. Number 3. In the UK, what percentage of household bills are from equipment on standby? So this was Lisa's wee extra challenge that she threw in for us. This should be quite an easy one to type. So can you remember what percentage of household bills are from equipment on standby? Let's see who can be first for this one. Oh, Katie, well done. 12%, super. And number 4 then, what can people do to try and save money and be more environmentally friendly? And we're going to join Leah to see if she can tell us which one she thinks was the most. So lots of things people can do, but which one do you think is the best, Leah?
Which one do you think is the best for people to save money? And so you wanted to do reduce this one, reduce the equipment that uses heat.
Yeah, try and reduce
The
use of equipment that uses heat and movement.
Great. So we spoke about how any appliance that uses heat or produces heat or moves, is the one that costs the most money, isn't it? So that would probably be the best one. Super. And we're really running out of time, so I'm going to just tell you the answers to this one. We've got recycle, walk instead of drive, turn the lights off, switch electrical appliances off at the switch, try to take less baths, and like Leah said to us there, try and reduce the use of equipment that uses heat and movement. So great work, everyone. Usually we would have our quick quid questions here, but I think we've kind of ran out of time for that today. Lisa, what do you think?
Yeah, we might be able to get one question from the connected family, but yeah, I think we're a bit short on time because we've covered off so much today, Miss McPherson.
Yeah, we've had great engagement during the activities, which has been fantastic. So let's just take a question then from Sienna and Neve for Lisa.
Okay. Do you do some of these things yourself to save money in that?
That's a really good question. So I think myself and Miss McPherson will answer this one today. So for myself, I do. So I don't dry my hair with a hairdryer. It just dries naturally, and I don't use like hair straighteners or anything. So I do, and I also don't have a tumble dryer in my house. So everything gets hung outside or on my clothes horse inside to get air at it.
I'm quite similar to Lisa. I do try and do things that turn off the switch at the plug. That's something that I'm really into, where if I see something on that's not being used, I'll switch it off. I always make sure that I've got my TV and things off when I'm not watching it. But unfortunately, I do need a hairdryer, so I know that I use quite a lot of energy and cost quite a lot of money to do that. But I need it for my hair, otherwise it will just go really frizzy.
So does our mum.
Thanks, girls. And let's see if we can quickly go to Leah then for a very quick question before we finish up.
How do we save paper and branches to help the environment?
That's a really good question, Leah. So in the Royal Bank of Scotland, when we're in branches, we try and reduce the amount of paper that we give out to customers. So for example, if they're needing statements, we would always advise them to go back to their online banking and look at that. We also try not to send out as many statements. So we do it once a quarter, unless they're online banking and they get them by themselves. And also a lot of our applications now are done online. So we don't even need to print paper off for them. So there's loads that we do, and we recycle all our used paper as well. Thank you.
Thanks. Sorry we didn't get to answer any of your questions at home, but we just ran out of time because you were so fantastic at all the activities this week.
Thanks, Miss McPherson. Just before we round up, I just want to give you a wee top tip. Once a phone, laptop or iPad is fully charged, if the charger is left on, then it will continue to use all your energy. So it's therefore not a good idea to charge them overnight because you'll use much more energy than what you would do by charging it during the day. So please remember to save money, only charge appliances when they need charged until they're full battery, remove the charger and turn it off the switch.
This is really interesting, Lisa, because I'm actually quite guilty of doing this. So next time my phone needs charged, I'll need to make sure that I do it just before I go to sleep at night so that it's ready and fully charged for the next morning, but I'm not charging it during the night and wasting any energy or costing myself more money than I have to.
That's a good idea. Now, everyone else, thanks for joining us here today. We hope you've had lots of fun. And remember, you can always log on to the My MoneySense website at any time and do any of the fun games and videos. And there's also things for your grown-ups too. Also, if you've missed any of our previous lessons, because this is now our 7th, then you can view the recordings back on the Royal Bank of Scotland Facebook page and also our YouTube channel.
Yes, you should definitely visit the My MoneySense website and catch up on any previous lessons that you've missed. Thanks to all of you for joining us at home and for all of your hard work during today's session. As always, we hope you enjoyed participating and we look forward to seeing you next MoneySense Monday when we'll be learning all about starting a business. Have a great week, take care and stay safe. Bye.
Bye.